Welcome to Sports Talk. We're proudly sponsored by Mazer Trophies and Plaques.
Folks, we are joined here today. We've got a special treat. We got one of the top girls organizations in the state of Texas and really across the country. We've got here joined by the S.A. Lady Hoops president, founder, and coach, Antonio Holmes. Coach Holmes, thank you for joining us today.
No problem. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm very excited to be here. So, I'm just really thrilled to be here to share a little bit of information.
Definitely, and I definitely appreciate that. And kind of like we had a background talk when we were talking. The premise behind this is to really just tell the story of the Lady Hoops, how you guys started the journey to get to where you are now, and we'll drop that big gem you guys got here at the end on where you are now. But kind of give us a little bit of background on the Lady Hoops and why you guys started doing what you were doing there.
Oh, it was pretty simple. I have two daughters who played the game as well. They both finished college, going on to playing their NCAA college careers. So I started it for my middle girl who was fourth grade back in 2007, 2008. We had a really good one team that was really good. That was pretty dominant throughout the state and the city. Won a couple of national championships. But then, if you didn't know, I was 24 years in the Air Force with that. So, of course, I got orders out of here. And, of course, the Lady Hoops disbanded and the girls went to different programs. So went to Alabama for 3 years when I got back. And I was really about to retire from coaching. I was going to focus on my son. And took my son to a practice, saw some girls, and nobody knew who I was, and until we saw one of the parents, and one of the parents recognized me from my previous years with the Lady Hoops, and they was just shocked that I walked to the gym and I wasn't coaching. So they just, once the owners of that program saw who recognized who I was, they asked me to coach. I wasn't going to. I was just training at the time, and then one of my partner now, Lamore Stevens, he was like, I need you to, help out with these young girls or whatever. Went to a practice, fell in love with them. You know how little girls are. They got the goggles and the ponytails and didn't know what they were doing. So I'm like, I can't let them not, I couldn't not share my knowledge I had with them. So started coaching with that organization. I stayed for about a year. And then basically, I left that organization to start my own organization back with the Lady Hoops. So we reestablished about 5 years ago with one team, and now it's been magnified to quite a few.
Definitely. And as you started that journey, I'm sure you ran into some hiccups, especially there in San Antonio with the way people are so territorial. So what were one of the things that you did to differentiate the Lady Hoops from every other organization there in San Antonio to help you start growing it?
Well, from the start, we were just the one team, and my focus was so much on them to where to a point where they were pretty much, they couldn't be beaten here in San Antonio unless we played 4 and 5 grades up. So when people started recognizing that part, and they see us the same girls every week, we started playing, 6th grade playing 9th grade, 7th grade playing JV in 11th grade and winning those events, and then traveling across the state and not winning all the time, but at least being competitive to where we started getting a lot of respect from a lot of big programs. So once people started seeing that, it started growing slowly. And I say over the last 2 years, it's been the biggest growth periods, and I think it has a lot to do with those core group girls who I had was going into high school, and a lot of people started recognizing who they were and where they came from. So it brought a lot of girls to the program.
Definitely. And so in doing that, you mentioned a partner. And so I think as organizations start to grow, and develop, finding that right team to be around you is very important. And so, how many iterations of that team that you have to go through in order to get that solid foundation that you guys could really grow and build off of? Quite a few, I'm sure.
The funny, well, yeah, about two. I'll say about two. At the beginning of it, we had a variety of girls as far as age goes. And the folk, when I was in that other organization, I tried to, tell them like, oh, let's focus on age groups for now, so that we can get them prepared in their age bracket. So it was a few different combinations, but then after a while, it all became just down to the one group. It was in the 2023 group. So we just went from there since the fourth grade. And, we had a couple drop offs, go somewhere else. And we have a couple additions as well. So, that it wasn't really a hiccup once you buy into the culture and everything, and know what the process is. And you be the process, not trust it. You be it, meaning you got practice. You're doing extra work. You're making sure your studies are good. You're making sure that your behavior is good. That's all being the process, not just trust.
And so that's the player side. I guess I was looking more at the staff you have around you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That organizational structure.
Yeah. It has changed because we're a family organization, so there are a lot of family members who are in key positions. So when family members do leave or things like that, then of course they have to be replaced. But we have to make sure we're replacing those people who have the same values that we have as far as being out there for the kids and doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Definitely, and I think a lot of times organizations start and they think that we're going to ride this group right here as far as a staff all the way to the end, not realizing that not everybody that came in originally had that same vision that you as an organization starter may have had.
Right.
I'm sure you've ran into the people who have came in, tried to learn from you, and then go build their own, or come in and figure out what your culture is and try to take that culture to build their own. And so I know as an organization owner, that's a tightrope that you have to walk as you bring people into the organization on a structural side.
I'm Dr. Timothy Hoover, and I'm taking you to the house, and I want you to come and join me every Thursday at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time on Taking It to the House.
Hi, I'm Dr. C. Victor Herban III, and I'm the co-host of Taking It to the House. Come on out and join us. I want you to bring some hot fire. Thursdays, 4:30 Eastern Time, Taking It to the House.
I want you to come with us. Take it to the house with us. You got a burn? Something you want to share? You see our Twitter accounts? You can join us on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook. Come on, take it to the house with us.
You got that hot fire? Something that stands out that you just know have to take to the house? Let us know on our Twitter handles. We'll be more than happy to read it on air. We want to hear from you. Bring it.
Talk about that, building the coaching staff that it takes to have teams at the different age groups going from fourth grade all the way up to high school, and how you leverage that staff so that you don't burn everybody out.
Okay, so what we do is, first after we interview them and see what their goals are, things like that, and we talk about teams and age groups and what their philosophies are, and try to mesh them with what our culture is. So if they don't mesh, then it's like, okay, well, we can start you off with some training, maybe to help out in the training aspect, or just being around to help out at practice instead of coaching until we feel comfortable with that individual to be a coach. And like you said, it's difficult because you never know someone's intentions until they put it in front of you. You know what I'm saying? It's like they can act like or be there for you until they don't need you no more. Meaning you may get, you may help them get started. They get a pretty decent, group of whatever girls and or boys, if boys for that matter, and then they move on, and it's like, sometimes it can be kind of hurtful. Sometimes it could be a blessing in disguise.
Definitely. I've had both instances happening, so yeah, it definitely can be a blessing in disguise. And sometimes, sometimes you have to have that loss to grow.
Amen.
Sometimes you have to have that loss to grow, and diamonds are made from pressure. They don't just grow; they come from pressure, and so sometimes having that pressure makes a diamond in the end. And so that's definitely a big thing to keep in mind and to pass on to these organizations is sometimes it's not going to go the way you want it to go, but holding true to the core values that you have for that organization will carry you through. And speaking of which,
yes, sir.
So you taught culture. So what aspects of the Lady Hoops culture do you think have been the biggest attributes for you guys as far as your sustained success?
One, it's not really a definition of culture, but I think it's very important. It's family. We're very family oriented. We like to get people, family members involved so they have a stake in the organization, whether it be a fundraising coordinator, whether it be a travel coordinator where they're getting hotels for the team when we travel, whether it be events coordinator where they're doing a Christmas party, or if when we do travel, we all go out to have fun all together. But we like to incorporate those family members inside the organization as well. So I mean that's the biggest part to me, because those family members, they have a stake in it, not just come to practice, sit down, watch the girls practice, and go home every single time. They're sitting down. They say, okay, we're going to Houston in 2 weeks. What is going on in Houston? Can we go? Where are we going to go eat? And then we got the hotel room. Make sure and everybody's involved to it, and not just come watch and play, watch Coach T yell at them and go up and run up and down the court, and then you go home. It's more like, okay, what we got this week, what we got in 2 weeks, when we go to Florida, who's going to be doing what in Florida. So that's the biggest thing for us, is keeping our families involved inside the organization. And besides the family, again, we like we talked about earlier, the culture of when you're on the court, being a teammate, playing hard, being a good teammate all the time is very important for us. And like cussing and all that other stuff. So it's a good family-oriented, faith-based organization.
How many coaches do you guys have with the Ladies Hoops?
We have 9.
9 coaches.
Yes.
And how many teams? And this is and oh, by the way, this is just the girls' side, right?
Yes. Yes.
And I think
right now we have 13.
13. Wow. Okay.
As of right now, we have 13 teams. And we're about to add on a few. I have a couple calls that was made last couple of days because I think because of what's been going on. But that's going to be bringing over quite a few other girls as well. But then on the younger side.
I said, your intentions were never to get this big when you started out, were you?
No, sir. When I started out, we just wanted that one. I was just trying to do that one team. And we were doing really, really well. And then my partner was just like, girls would start showing up just to see that, how can we get involved? And I'm like, well, we only got one coach and one team. And next thing you know, it's just like, okay, a couple more will show up, and then somebody will, I want to coach. And then it's like, okay, well, let's do this. And, one of the coaches who was no longer with us, he came aboard with us. I started him up, started getting some girls from him as well. So then we grew on the older side at first, and then we started growing at the younger while I was still in the middle with the one team. But I didn't intend on doing all of this. I just wanted to do one team and keep it moving. I wasn't focused on building a organization, but my partner Lamore was just like, you can affect way more people, way more kids if we, try to do something for more than just our team. So then we just started from there.
And that's one of the things that I want to touch on here as well is you said something, helping more than just your team. So I think one of the things that has been really successful for your organization is the fact that you guys are willing to work with anyone out there that's trying to do something positive with student athletes, work with other organizations, and even supporting their initiatives. And so I think that it's been huge in creating that structure around your organization to allow you guys to grow and to create that atmosphere for growth.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%. I've always been, very helpful to anybody who needed it. I've seen that needed. Sometimes I have to be the one to initiate and reach out. But some people do call me and ask me opinions and things they need to be doing as far as some of the things that we provide in our organization.
No, that's good stuff. So as you guys continue to grow, what's on the horizon for the Hoops program? And I say the Hoops program because you guys also have a boys side to this.
We do. It was bigger before, and then the girls just got overwhelming for me personally. So I allowed some other coaches to take over the King program, where we have one team right now to start rebuilding at the young groups as we speak.
Nice. I wanted to take this walk kind of down memory lane for these organizations to see this because, 3 days ago, you guys just became a part of the Adidas family, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The hashtag 3 Stripe family.
That took you guys from an organization to go from where you were to now being a part of that Adidas family. How long did it take you guys to get to that point?
Like I said, if you really sit back and think about it, because at the beginning we wasn't even trying to be part of a shoot program. I was just trying to help as many as kids as I could. Then I say probably about the last, 2.5 years, it's probably been, it's been right there for us. Other organizations asked us to join, combine with them, or do something of that nature, which was very humbling as well, because there was some pretty prominent organizations that approached us. But that's something that I thought about it, prayed on it, talked to the family, talked to my business partner, and it was just like, okay, do we want to do that? Do we want to do our own thing? So we held tight, and then Adidas, basically Ray Caldwell and S.A. Finest, we sat down, had a big long lunch, well actually brunch for about 3.5 hours. We just talked about it. talked about a lot of aspects of what we provide the city, things like that, and it was pretty much a no-brainer.
Nice. That's good stuff. Now, Adidas comes with perks, of course, and they have their requirements.
Yes.
But there aren't a lot of Adidas programs across the country. And so to be one of them is a huge honor. And I congratulate you guys on that. And I think when a lot of organizations start off, they want to get to that end goal today. And the end goal being, we want to be a sponsored club, sponsored organization. And the steps get missed in building that organization to get to that point. So as you guys took those steps, what were some of the roadblocks and hiccups you guys had as you took that journey going from one team to now 13?
The biggest hiccup to me is like we talked about earlier, losing, you lose a coach or coaches and team or some players that you really as family members that you really like and you appreciate to go go do what they have to do, which is I applaud them for doing trying to go get their goals as well. That's the biggest hiccup, like the relationships you build with the kids and them having to follow the adults because they have to, because they're the adults that make the decision. They want to spend the money to get the kids to the practice, kids to the game, so they have to go with what they and you kind of lose those relationships with the kids, and it's hurtful sometimes. Like you lose kids that you that been with you forever. It's like, man, it's like what did I do? For a minute, you gotta take a step back. Look what you did. Look what I did. What I didn't do. What I could have done better. Stuff like that. You just pray on it, and then sometimes it's for the best. Sometimes it's just it is what it is. But I think that's the biggest hiccup for me because I'm a very personable person. And once I get to know you, now I'm around you, around me, I'm around you. You laughing and joking, and then the kids rip from me like, man, what happened? Even if it don't have to be a kid that's one of your better kids, it just be a kid that you really, really like, you joke with, and they just gone because of whatever reason.
I only bring that up because I think organizations need to understand that you're going to lose players.
Yes.
You're gonna gain some, you're gonna lose some, and you're gonna lose players that you've invested a lot of time in. And so understanding that it's not always about the student athlete because we got adults involved. So adults make decisions for these kids that they have to go with. And so not taking that personal and understanding that that's an element of this, I think is huge in a lot of instances as you start to grow and develop programs. What's on the horizon for the Hoops program that you can share with us today?
There's quite a few things out there that that makes our program like well-rounded, and that was my goal to have every aspect covered for our student athletes. So we just partnered with D1 training here in San Antonio, where they're doing our strength and conditioning, speed and agility stuff. They're going to be heading that up, and so we got a really good deal off of that. The parents they're very happy excited about that. We should be starting that up in the next, say, couple of days, probably this week sometime. We're also back with Aces Nation, which is our recruiting platform. That's another exciting venture that we partner with. Some other things that I'm going to be starting up individually that's going to also help us in the recruiting part. I just can't announce that yet, but it's coming really, really soon. We're and being with Adidas again is going to allow me the opportunity to do some extra things besides at their events. They want to take my wealth of knowledge as far as my experience and the number of girls I have. They want that experience to go through the whole Adidas program. So it's pretty exciting stuff that they're going to want me to be partner in doing with. And as you know, S.A. Finance is Adidas program as well. So I'm gonna be working with them a little bit on some things. So maybe you'll be seeing some really big stuff from the S.A. Lady Hoops.
Nice. So San Antonio has 2 Adidas women's programs there now, right?
3. I think the other one is S.A. Hoops Elite.
Okay. Wow. So that's some good stuff going on there in San Antonio.
Yeah. Got some talented athletes down here. It's just the fact that we just have enough programs that's out there that's pushing the girls out there to get these scouts down here. And, you know, and I've said it for a long time. There's enough athletes out here to do that. So, but you know, it can't just be one person. So we have to get together collectively and get these. If you're about what you're about, if you're about getting these girls to college, get to school, whether it's D1, D2, D3, I say D3. So if you can get that D3, hey, look, we got to do it collectively as, you know, Adidas, Nike, whatever. We need to do that just for the sake of the city, in my opinion. You know, I hear about Dallas being talented, which they are, Houston being talented, which they are. San Antonio is talented as well. But the fact is, you know, it's just they have bigger programs that have more longevity that's been on the scene longer. So we just have to start, in my opinion, work together and get these girls these scholarships, because there's enough talent here in San Antonio to do it.
As we kind of wrap this up, is there any parting gems you can drop on any organization that's looking to start their own program and grow and to be successful?
Number one, I just say, you know, do it for the right reasons. If you're doing it for the right reasons and you stick with those reasons throughout, then you'll be fine. You know, set your goals and continuously set goals. You know, if you're beginning, you start off wanting to be a one-team program and go all the way through, do that. But if you're doing great, be prepared to want to help other kids, because a lot of people are going to see the great things you're doing for the city. So you got to be prepared for that. Have good people around you. That's 2. Have good people around you that's going to help you. Don't be too big-headed to ask questions or make a mistake. Don't be too big-headed to apologize and say, I'm sorry, things like that. So I did something wrong, or I went to the wrong event, or whatever. You just got to make sure that you have those right people around you. And then lastly, don't be scared of that competition. I think you're going to lose or win or whatever. You got to test your kids all the time. You never know. You mess around and start playing really, really good against those Dallas teams and those Houston teams, and that's when it really starts to when you start getting that recognition. I mean, that's what happened to us. We would play here and then go to Dallas, and we may not win. Some of them we may not win, but you know, teams that never got pushed to the end of the game, lose by 3 points, and the parents of the other teams come to the same. You know, those girls ball and they small and they play hard and they can shoot. And those things that we teach, and and that's just my suggestion. Those 3 things, just keep grinding, keep your head around, stay in your lane, and just, you know, it'll come if that's what you want. Yeah, but if that's what you want, just don't be focused on a shoe deal like that. Be focused on your kids, train them up, and it'll come.
Well, Coach, I think that's some good information there. Nice gem to drop. We thank you guys for tuning in. This has been Sports Talk. Have a good one.
Bye.